Hello everyone, welcome to lesson 28 of my PySimpleGUI lessons. In today's video, we're going to be creating columns. So it's something kind of like this. For this, I designed it to be like writing a book. You can write the title, the creator, and the book here. We can like say, a collection of fairy tales. And then by me. And then in here we can say like, once upon a time, and then we can write, and then we can press OK. Alright, so columns like this, they're really good because you can make the window more complex and look better. So now let's get on with the coding. Import PySimpleGUI as SG, and then we can make the layout. Worry about this later. And let's make the window Python learning, and the layout while true, event and value equals window.read. We can print the event and values. If event equals none, then we break, and then we close the window at the end. So let's run this to make sure it's working. Okay, so now we have the window, and let's add the columns. So for our columns, it's really simple. We just write sg.column, and for this we need two columns, and inside the columns we just do how we normally write the layout, but let's write it as outside. We can give it a variable name like layout left and layout right. So let's start with layout left. In the example I showed, there was a title and an input box here, I think. Yes, an input box here. Please give an input, and then the text is creator input. You can write please input. Alright, so now for the right layout, we can use an element that we haven't really learned before. It's called multi-line. We will be talking about this later on in this series of lessons, but for now, let's just know it's kind of like an input text element, but you can write multiple lines, hence the name. We can write please input, and we can give this a size, say 30 and 20. And then for this, we can also add a button. Okay. And then let's run this. Oh wait, sorry, I forgot to put these layouts into the columns. Okay, so the left one goes in the first one, because it goes from the left to the right. So this is layout left, and this one is layout right. So I'll do this, and let's run it. Alright, now we have the one we just showed as the example, and now let's go onto some of the attributes for the columns. So let's use layout left as an example because we already learned the text and input text elements. So let's this, and the first one I wanted to talk about is the background color. Background color, don't forget the comma here. Background color, let's say is black. So now this is black, the background. We can change the size to make the background different. We can say like 20 and 30. Run this. Oh, okay, that's a bit too small. Let's turn it into 200 and 300. Now it would be like this. It's a lot narrower, but it's a lot taller. So let's change this back into none to make it the default size. And then we talked about pad before. It's the left, right, up, and top. Don't really need to talk about this one. And there's the scrollable. Okay, this one is quite important. It's a boolean, either true or false. If this is true, then there will be a vertical and a horizontal scrolling wheel. Like this, please input. Okay, now this is also paired with another attribute. It's called vertical scroll only. So what this achieves is this takes away the horizontal scroll wheel and only keeps the vertical one. So now there is no longer a vertical one here. There is only, there is a vertical one, no horizontal scroll wheel anymore. These two are normally paired together. If the scrollable is false, then it won't matter what vertical scroll only is. There will always be no scrolling wheel like this. Alright, after the vertical scroll only, we have the right-click menu. We talked about this before, so like we do this. We put 1, 2, and 3. Now if we run this and right-click this, then 1, 2, 3 and will pop up. Okay. So after this right-click menu, we would put the key. The key is basically the identity. We can say like column left for the key, and yeah. Next we have the visible. It's either true or false. If this is true, then we are able to see this. If this is false, then this whole column is invisible. It no longer appears. Alright, turn this back to true and talk about the justification. So normally the justification justifies the text or input text elements, but for this, it justifies the column because this justifies the column, not everything inside of the column. So since there's no column to the left of this column, it won't matter what we put here. Just know there are 3 different selections: left, center, or right. So let's start with left. They won't really make a difference. Yeah, so there's nothing to the left of this, so nothing will happen. Okay, let's just move on to the next one. The next one focuses on the elements inside this column. So it's called element justification. This justifies the text and input text elements inside this column. So like before, there's the left. If this is to the left, then everything is justified to the left. If this is center, then everything is centered like this. And then right is at the right like this. Yeah. Okay, next there's the vertical alignment. Vertical alignment, like last time, there's 3, but instead of left and right, this is top and bottom. So if we write top here, then it's aligned with the top. If we write bottom, then it's aligned at the bottom. And if we write center, it's aligned in the center, like this. Alright, so after vertical alignment, there's grab. I'm pretty sure we talked about this one before. If this is true, then we can grab onto this element and move it around. For other elements, we still can't move it around, even if we grab onto it. And then, after the grab, there's 2 more. Expand X and expand Y. So expand X expands the width of the X axis. So for this doesn't really matter since it's already to the max, like this. So let's focus on expand Y. Expand Y, if this is true, then from the top to the bottom, it uses the whole space. That's why the background is this whole part. If this is false, then the top and bottom won't be seen as part of this element. Alright, that concludes lesson 28 of my PySimpleGUI course. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. And remember, work, code, succeed, with work for tuition's lead.